through these. The first one is, what are Yext Power Listings and how do they work and how do they help GBP rank or the organic pages? Well, if you just go do a search for Yext Power Listings in Google, you can go check out their site and then you'll see what are Power Listings, why Power Listings, etc. Now, I don't use Power Listings directly through Yext because they make you sign a contract. It's stupid. It's $500 a month per location, or excuse me, $500 per year per location, and they make you sign a contract. And so I know because I used to be a reseller for Yext many years ago, and they would make you sign a contract as a reseller to commit to 10 locations and all that. And anyway, I don't like it. Okay, I don't like using them direct through Yext. However, through SEMrush, if you have a SEMrush account, then you can get Yext Power Listings through SEMrush with no contract for $20 per month. Full transparency, that's what I resell under semantic links, or Yext Power Listings for $34 a month. Yes, I mark it up $14 a month. If anybody has a problem with that, don't buy my Yext Power Listing service. But I charge $34 a month for it, and all I do is submit them through SEMrush, which I make $14 a month on in margin off of that. So why Yext Power Listings? Well, it's funny that you brought this up, Huzaifa, by the way, because there was a comment on another video that was I saw in our comments up here. Anyway, there was a comment on another video where I was talking about Yext Power Listings, and the person that commented was like, Yext Power Listings overcharges, and it's only about 80 citations, and I get much better results with Citation Vault for my local clients. Okay, sure you do. And that's fine. But there's a big difference between Citation Vault and Yext. The difference between Yext is about, if it's a published street address in the United States, you get roughly 65 citations. Why I like Yext is because they're a fairly high number of the high authority business directory listings. So like the big directories that have a lot of authority, big national directories, yes, but they're very authoritative properties. Go look at the authority of the Citation Vault sources, okay? To the person that made that comment, like, it's apples and oranges comparison. It doesn't even make sense to have that type of a conversation because the what we're using Power Listings for is to put a bunch of really well developed, really well optimized profiles on the high authority directory sites. And it does it all in one fell swoop. Like you've completely optimized the Yext Power Listings profile. And then that gets synced out to roughly 65 directories. If it's a published street address in the United States, it's roughly 65 directories, higher authority directories. And you get 2 links because you get your website link and then you get what's called a featured message link. In the featured message link, you can set whatever anchor text you want. And on about half of the Yext properties, so half of the directories in the Yext system, even if there are no follow links to the website URL, the featured listing URL is a follow link for about half of them, at least the last time I tested that, which was about 2 years ago. I don't think they've changed it. They may have, but I doubt it. And so you can get follow links from some of these high authority properties, even when the website link listed in the citation is a no follow link. The featured message link becomes a follow link, or is in many cases a follow link. Not all of them, but in about 40 or 50% of them it is. So, and then because it's the high authority listings, business directories, etc., you get more value from those, and then you extract the citation URLs or export them, excuse me, which we provide to our clients. Then you put those in the ID page, right? You put them in the G sheet that goes into the ID page, along with all your other branded assets or any external page URL that has accurate information published about the business, name, address, phone number, website, or some combination of those 4 data points. And that's the reason why we do it, because it is a brand authority builder. Citation Vault doesn't do that, okay? By the way, I use the hell out of Citation Vault. So I'm not saying that Citation Vault isn't also good to use for local projects. It is. Not direct to the money site, though. The way that I do it is we link to the ID page. So if you think about it, we're using high authority directory properties that are linking directly to the money site that then get embedded into the ID page and the G sheet. So the URLs for all of those high authority directory listings through Yext Power Listings get added to the G sheet, which gets embedded to the ID page. And then the ID page gets hit with Citation Vault links. So that is a much smarter and better way to do it because Google is fully aware of Citation Vault. because it's clearly a footprint. And I'm not picking on it. I think it's a great service for how I use it. I wouldn't use it to link directly to money sites, and I would caution others against doing the same thing. These are high authority business directories that are not going to get you in trouble. In fact, this improves brand strength, brand authority. So that's why we use these as tier one citations that link directly to the money site. Okay, because of all the reasons that I just described. So Yext Power Listings is very powerful. It's I think I used to hate Yext, guys. After I was a reseller for a while. I didn't like it. I ended up canceling that whole service with them and reseller agreement and everything. And for years, I would have told everybody not to use Yext Power Listings. But I've come around because now brand authority is the magic key to local SEO, in my opinion, right now. If you build enough brand authority, you can have problems and several of, you can have deficiencies in many of the other areas that we typically address in a proper SEO campaign, right? There's really four components, sometimes more than one part to each component. I always talk about this when I talk about my or when I'm discussing what I do in local SEO audits, right? There's entity first, which is really a measure of brand strength. When we do entity analysis, what we're doing is determining how well developed is the knowledge graph for a specific branded location. We're analyzing brand strength for a specific branded location. So that's entity analysis number one. Number two is on-page optimization for the self-hosted site. Number three is on-page optimization for the GBP. Number four is off-page, which includes two components, backlinks and engagement signals. So those are kind of the main areas. There's four main areas: entity, on page for the self-hosted site, on page GBP, and off page. And those are the four main areas that we should be optimizing for local search. And if we build enough brand strength, which is component number one, right, entity, then we can have deficiencies in those other areas and still perform well. And so that's why I think brand strength is the key, the kind of key to local SEO right now. And so this is a brand strength builder, right? It helps to. So does the ID page. That's why it's a 1-2 punch, right? They work in tandem. It's Yext embedded into the ID page, and then the ID page becomes a significant link building target where you can be a lot more aggressive with link building to an ID page than you would ever should be to your self-hosted money site. And in the ID page, we then reference all of the page URLs, not just Yext Power Listings, which are structured citations, right? We all think as SEOs of citations as business directory listings, and it is true that a business directory listing is a citation. But a citation is much more, or can be many more things than just a business directory listing. A citation is a published mention of the name, address, phone number, and website information for a local business, or any combination of those data points. It's a published mention, period. That is a structured citation is a business directory listing. An unstructured citation is anywhere else those data points are published. Do you understand? And so what I'm saying is we want to use high authority properties when possible and structured citations when possible, especially on high authority properties. But then we can also build citations through published mentions of any four of those data points: name, address, phone number, website information. So all of those now, any published mention or citation is an external page URL that has a published mention of those data points. We want to extract any of those page URLs that are indexed in Google and then put them into the ID page and put them into the same as attributes of the local business schema. Link out to them with Google Business Posts from the GBP with the Learn More button from Google Business Posts. Because what are we doing? We're forcing Google. Basically, we are virtually forcing Google to pull those data points into the knowledge graph that it's already building for the local business location. Do you understand? I've talked about this on sales calls. Some of you may have heard this before. Some of you probably haven't. But do you understand Google's not very efficient at crawling the billions and billions of page URLs out there to figure out which data points corroborate or validate what they understand about a particular Google business profile, right? Which is, again, remember, the entity validation that we do for local business clients is help get a GBP verified, right? But then Google, left to it on its own, is going to develop the knowledge graph regardless, whether we help it develop it or not. It's going to go out and develop the knowledge graph, but it's not very efficient at doing it because Google starts to try, as it's crawling the web, it tries to identify page URLs that have that are reinforce or validate what it understands about that Google business profile and how it is optimized. Essentially, who the business is, what they do, and where they do it. So, again, it's like, let me put it this way: it's like a jigsaw puzzle. If you and I, if you were to go out and buy a jigsaw puzzle at Walmart or whatever, right? You look at the box, you can see what the image is supposed to be once you put all the pieces together. But when you dump that box out onto a table, the puzzle pieces are going to be scattered, and you're going to have to start organizing those pieces and fitting them together properly. And the more pieces you start to fit together, the image, as you start to fit pieces together, the image starts to emerge from that mess, right? The more pieces you organize to get and fit together properly, the clearer or sharper that image becomes. So it's almost like Google is trying to put this puzzle together, and it has to crawl this massive web with all these page or billions and billions of page URLs to try to find these puzzle pieces that fit together with the GBP and what Google understands about who the business is, what they do, and where they do it. So can't we help Google put that puzzle together a hell of a lot faster? Of course we can. That's our job as local SEOs, right? And so we can help Google very quickly identify the page URLs that are specifically validating the name, address, phone number, website information for a particular Google business profile or branded location. By linking out to it with Google Business Post to any page URL, right? That's a direct linked connection from the Google Business Profile to page URLs that have data that verifies or validates how the GBP is optimized. Name, address, phone number, website, who the business is, what they do, where they do it, right? So linking out with GB Posts is a great way to pull data into the knowledge graph. Number two is the same as attributes in the local business schema that should be inserted into the location landing page, which is the user URL linked to from the GBP as the website URL, right? So direct linked connection from the GBP to the page on the money site, the self-hosted site that then has local business schema with all of those same as attributes, external page URLs that have accurate information published about the business. And then lastly, in that same that local business schema that should be inserted into the location landing page, the @ID field should have a dedicated ID page, right? A URL, a dedicated URL that is a reference point for the Google bots and other search engines to go to validate or confirm, corroborate local entity information. So those three things right there is how we can very quickly help Google develop the knowledge graph with proper and appropriate data, so that it has a clearer understanding and more validation, more evidence pulled into the knowledge graph about who the business is, what they do, and where they do it. So Yext Power Listings is one of my favorite things to do for local SEO now because it's inexpensive and it helps. It's a authority booster, authority builder, brand builder, so to speak. And like I said, it's a quick and easy way to add some kind of authority to the brand. All right. It's a good question. I appreciate the question. And again, I understand that some people don't like power listings, and I get it too. I didn't for a long time, but now that branding and brand strength is really kind of what I've kind of determined through my own testing is the magic key to local SEO right now. It's a great way to do that very quickly. Okay.